Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Grillo, thank you for taking the time to share your insights and process with us. Let's jump in with what seems to be kind of a hard question these days. What do you see is the role of a demo in 2024?
Great. Yes, there's always a lot of talks about demos, but a demo is used, it's a sample of who you are. I get demos like every day because I'm a voice director, so people are trying to get jobs with me. And I have to tell you, when I hear a good demo, I probably will write their name down and keep a note of, like, I have, a list of people that I like. And, if I don't know you, all you really have is your demo is your calling card. And so, I listen to your demos. I'm like, oh, I love these characters that they did, and then I keep note of that and hope to meet you, in the future because of it. So I think demos are really important.
Okay. How long have you been producing demos?
Oh gosh, probably 15 years, maybe.
Okay.
Long time. Yeah, long time.
And are there just certain genres that you produce, or do you?
Yeah, my specialty is animation and
Oh,
games and commercials. So that's kind of the three that I do. I just have some other clients recently that wanted to do political demos, and I was like, that's just not my niche. I found a person that does do political ones that I really liked the work that she did, and I just kind of turned them over to her and said, work with her. She's going to help you do the politicals. So yeah, I would say my strength is definitely animation. I like character work, and I've just worked in cartoons for like 30 years. So that's my thing, kind of.
perfect. So, what criteria does a talent have to have before you'll actually produce their demo?
Great question. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're going to do a demo. To me, it's not that you can do 20 voices, and that's actually what made me start producing demos, is that I had everybody felt that they had to either have real stuff that had already been produced that they could show, or they thought it had to be like a million different characters, a lot of million different voices. And I'm more interested in the acting, especially now how that over the years everything's gotten more conversational, and just kind of knowing what I need from everybody. I need to hear that on the demo. So I work with my people, we decide what their strengths are, and then I try to show that on the demos.
Okay. So, is coaching part of your process?
Yes, definitely. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Oh, I just want to do demos with you," and I'll take a session with them, and I'm like, "They're not even close to doing a demo. I won't waste anybody's money." I'm like, "No, you need to keep studying first and come up with, a bunch of different characters that you do." And it's not characters. When I say characters, I just mean different attitudes and vibes, a young girl, an older person, a non-human, different kinds of character work that we see in cartoons every day. So, that's really where my focus is. So I do like people to coach with me first. I usually have them do privates with me and then I also teach an adult working pro class.
Okay.
And that class is really cool because you have to already have everything together. You have your demos, your websites, your agent, you're already booking, you know what you're doing, but it's been a couple years and now you need to kind of come up with some new characters, and the trends change in the acting styles, and you need to learn how to do that. And I have a working pro class right now that it's like everybody's amazing actors, but they're learning a lot because the trends have really changed. And so I'm kind of working with them on, how to work that. So a great example is like narration. I've been seeing a lot of scripts the past month where there's narrators in the shows, and everybody's kind of reading them like, once upon a time there was a fairy princess, and I'm like, no, actually bring some kind of character. So once upon a time there was this fairy princess, bring character, different stuff out. Because if you think about, as a casting director, what am I listening to? I'm hearing the same 50 auditions of the same script. It's the people that kind of bring something different and unusual that are getting my attention.
Okay.
So yeah, we work definitely. I like you to work first. If you're not ready, then you have to kind of study with me first. And then at that point, then I'll do demos.
Okay. So you kind of take it on a case by case basis
Yeah,
and
because I'm not just a demo production house. I actually am also a director, and I also teach. So I teach classes and kind of get everybody up and working. I worked backwards. I started as a casting director and then a voice director. And then once I got in the booth with everybody, I realized that a lot of people didn't really have the skills that were needed. So I went backwards, and then I was listening to their demos. I didn't like their demos. So, I worked backwards, but now, we're going the right direction, and demos first, study demos, then, start trying to get jobs and all that.
okay. Do you have a set cost structure?
Yeah, my prices are always the same. So I charge an hourly. I do everything on Zoom, pretty much. So, it's an hourly rate. Do you want the actual rates?
That's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a secret. I charge 185 an hour for a Zoom private lesson. And in that, I business consult, and I also help you find your characters, and, of course, acting lessons. That comes first. You really have to have your acting chops going first. And then once we do the demo, I do a flat rate, and that is when I actually go into production. So it's all privates. And the reason I did that, at first I tried to do like just a one rate. And some people needed 5 lessons, some needed 15. So I thought it doesn't make sense. I can't do a flat rate. So we do
Yeah.
privates until we're ready to actually go to the recording studio. Then once we go to the studio, I have a set rate, and that covers me, the recording studio, the engineer, and my sound production designer. So I have
Okay.
like a little team that I work with.
Okay. So that covers one of our upcoming questions. And how how do you determine the copy? Do you write custom copy? Do you use existing?
No. Well, it depends what we're doing. If we're doing commercial copy, I don't mind taking commercials that are, successful on the air. And if you really have a sound great doing it, what we'll usually do is rewrite them, because most of the time commercials are 30 seconds, and I'm going to break it down into maybe a 10-second if it makes sense.
Yeah.
So commercials, I will use existing copy, but I usually break it, shorten it a lot. My animation, you have to come up with your own characters, because if you don't have characters that you're ready to do, then you're not ready to be in the field. And it's really important, because what happens is when we're in the studio, this happens all the time, where I'll be recording a show, and I'll get a little tap on my shoulder. It's like, uh-oh, it's the producer going, I decided I don't want to do that Russian anymore. Do it like a New Yorker. And so, you have to be on your toes to be able to do all that. So I don't want to ever, I've felt very bad for some actors that couldn't really step up to what we needed. And I realized they're not ready. They're just not ready yet. So I'm very much first things first, learn your field. Then yes, absolutely, we write scripts for you. I do. Everybody, if you listen to my SoundCloud, I have a SoundCloud where all my demos are out. Every one of them is so different, because we individually write each script based on the talents of the actor.
Great. I love that. Um, so just kind of wrapping things up, in the time that you've been producing demos, what kind of shifts have you seen in the industry standard for a demo?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I first started, they were like 3 minutes long. Then they went down to 2 minutes, and now they're down to like 1:30. So that is a big shift. As people have less attention spans, the demos have gotten a lot shorter. And they've also, like I said earlier, it used to be demos were produced by stuff that you've already done. Now I produce, it sounds like you were in a TV show. It's just that we made it, we wrote it, and put all the effects and music. So, that has really changed over the years. And also, I think the acting needed to be really featured versus the 20 funny voices you can do, because we don't really use funny voices all that much anymore. We want more based in naturalness, conversational, and real sounding. So that's been a big change, is picking stuff that's more to the trends of now. And I choose that stuff because I see everything comes across my desk. So I see what's going on out there.
Yeah. All right. And our final question, and some people find this to be the hardest. Why would someone choose to work with you?
Oh, well, because I'm fun. No, I'm very into creativity. And the reason people like to come work with me is that not only do I know my stuff, I know how to get them where I need them to go. In the first place, I know where they need to go. Because a lot of people, they only know what they know. Like if an actor's coaching you, they only kind of know their experiences. And I've done so many shows and worked with so many different producers and so many different actors that, you really kind of get it after a while. And I think, and I'm also quite on top of what's happening today. And so people, I have to tell you a great example. I just heard a demo yesterday that somebody produced and was very happy about look what I just did a new demo. And I was mortified when I heard it. It was so not in the field right now of animation. It was super charactery and a lot of wacky characters. And I'm like, where do they think they're going to get a job doing that? Like if I heard that demo, I'd just be like, next, that's so wrong. And I mean, unfortunately, that person spent a lot of money putting that demo together, and it's not really in our field right now at all, what's happening. So you need to work with people that are actually really working, I would say, is, people that are in the field, have been around. If you look at my IMDb, you see I've done like a million shows. I've done, if you listen to my SoundCloud, the proof is in the pudding. Just listen to my demos. You're going to hear them. You're going to be, oh, heck. And it's really nice. I've helped to kind of change the standard for what demos should be like. I'm very aware of what animation trends are and try to, keep you within those bounds, make you a
All
good,
right.
good actor.
Perfect. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Donna.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure talking with you. And
Thank you.
thank you for actually asking the questions, because a lot of people, they're a little confused about, who to choose and who to work with. I say work with people that are in the field if you can, and not necessarily another actor. Probably more, I mean, nothing against actors, but just probably more people like casting directors or people like me, a director that knows what's actually happening,
Right.
you know. Great.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Sure.